Leviatán, they're on the board in this elimination match. I'm now joined by their head coach, Itapata. Now, before the game, we heard some of the players on Vitality talk about they had specific counter strats coming into this match. Did you feel any of that on Icebox? Is that why it was so close? And if so, how did you deal with these?
I don't think it was that close because of the anti-strat. We're usually a team that anti-strats ourselves as well, so we're adapting to what the enemy team is playing. So we're not really playing the same thing every time. And if they're anti-stratting us, that's good. They're just kind of just wasting their time.
I love it. Thank you very much. Best of luck on map 2.
And Leviatán pick up the win on Icebox, and even though that was their pick, let's be honest here, Lev survived that one because Vitality were on their tails, Mimi.
Yeah, Vitality nearly won that game in the second half. It took the Lev individuals coming online in a couple critical rounds right at the very end to come back. But Vitality, man, I think if they had gotten a few more rounds on the board in that first half, it could have been theirs. They had continual problems with dealing with B main in that half. The Lev players who's managing to lurk up in that area and then kind of own them on these execs in a lot of rounds.
I was worried at the start of the game for Vitality. It looked like they were having a very slow start.
Yeah.
Telegraphed approaches to everything, not doing any sort of B pressure. Sender being the first point of contact on a contact round, walking up, dying, and they had to play without their Viper, their only smokes character, multiple times, and there was no push-pull element of it, and it wasn't really until the round 5 they got a big round off of the Thrifty at middle and B area and the kitchen halls area, and that was like a big moment for them, and it seemed like they were gradually picking up from that point onwards, started getting the rounds leading into the second half and all that stuff, and it really was looking like it was Vitality's game for a really long time there until Lev suddenly woke up towards the end of the game there where we saw those few highlighted rounds.
And this has been kind of a consistent thing for Lev, I feel like, having these kind of struggles in the middle of games and then needing these individuals to step up, but they have so many incredibly talented players that can bring you those rounds and keep you in that series, and I think this now puts Vitality in a bit of a scary position. They were so close to winning this one. They are going into a sunset, which has been pretty good for them, but with how closely matched these teams are, it's tough to lose like that.
It is tough to lose like that, but that was Leviatán's map pick. Sure. So it's like, and it was an overtime. They might be sad about how they lost in the end because they were right there. They were on the cusp of, you know, closing that game out before they finally faltered. But going into sunset, knowing that how they were able to recover in the early stage of that Icebox, that's going to be good for their confidence. It's going to be great for Safe's confidence. That's going to be a huge point of it. And it's not something that they should be afraid about. Like, they drew blood. They know that it's doable. They just need to be able to convert and close it out. Yeah,
and for Safe, I think you saw in a lot of those replays him like really building up his team, being a calming force. He's become a lot more experienced player, and I think built a lot of emotional maturity to be that guy who can keep his teams in a match, and that's going to be really important throughout this series.
Yeah, but look, there were some great moments across the board, but we have our HyperX Reflex moment of the day. You got to give some love to Icebox here. You knew it was coming. He's had so many great moments in the map, and again, we always praise him for his consistency, what he brings to the table, but really it was a lot of these op kills, some of those jet knives as well still. What we were really getting from Icebox was him just willing the team, keeping them in this match with a few of these big moments, and that shot
there wasn't even a dart tag.
That right?
Silly.
Like,
that was just silly.
There were a few moments back and forth between the two teams here that kind of got ridiculous results out of it. So right there, that's a huge round for Lev to win there. And also was getting that collat. It was just, what?
Yeah. That, silliness.
That's unreal.
Silliness across the board. But that being said, though, on the other side, even though Safe, you know, the stats obviously favor Icebox a little bit more, I got to say, Safe was bringing it in a few of those rounds.
He had a lot of big moments, I think, especially on the attacking side, getting some really big opening picks on their executes throughout that second half. And this is going to be a fun matchup to watch, not only because of the history. Safe, locked in, Icebox, chilling.
Yeah, like when I see this is a perfect illustration of kind of how everything went, because Icebox was kind of chilling back a lot of the moments, going in last or not first at the very least, and just waiting around a little bit. And then we saw on the other side of it, Safe was just leading the charge and going in first, taking a lot of these opening duels, even on defense.
Yeah.
I think we will see a difference now going into Sunset, where both these guys are expected to play that Neon, and I think both of these teams have a lot of set plays for kind of opening gambits built up around that agent.
Yeah, well, we'll talk more about Sunset in a little bit. For now, though, let's hear what Coach Gorilla from Vitality has to say as we get ready for map 2.
I've got Team Vitality's coach Gorilla with me ahead of map 2. Now, of Leviatán, they didn't ban Lotus today. It was open. You guys could have picked it. But what was it about Sunset that made you feel more confident that you wanted to take them to?
We've had more reps on Sunset, so in general there's just a better feeling for the map for the team. I think the reason why we picked Sunset is because if we'd picked Lotus, there was an opportunity for the veto to get a bit funky. And these 3 maps for us is like, at the end of the day, they're really good maps for us. So, you know, if we lose this game, then it's just down to them being better and us not showing up. So we're very confident in Sunset and Ascent.
All right, thank you for your time. Best of luck.
I think coming out of Icebox, if you are Vitality, excuse me, Steel, you are feeling pretty confident. Yes, Leviatán turned up to 11 and we're able to close it out toward the end there. But as you heard from Coach Gorilla there is a confidence there for Vitality, and I think it's quite earned on Sunset.
The Vitality, they were right there, and had they closed out that Icebox, it could have been an easy 2-0 for them, because they are right. Their Sunset is their strongest map. This is like their go-to pick in so many of the matches in EMEA, and we're not going to see anything really crazy. You pointed out already that we're going to see the Neon heads up here. The big difference is that Lev is running the Breach to set up the Neon, whereas Vitality is running that KO. Neither team running a Gecko on this map, which is a big plant and spam.
Yeah. I think there's a big regional difference here. A lot of the EMEA teams favor the KO here. No one in Americas is playing this agent, so I think it does play. It's kind of change how Lev has to play a little bit here. As a side anchor, you're going to have to deal with there's knives. There's a couple unbreakable knives on this map that can cause some troubles. So maybe Lev going to look to play a little bit more of these retake setups. And I think a lot of that force on dealing with the KO is going to have to come down to Tex on this defense.
Yeah, Tex, I mean, he's going to have to figure out where he's going to play, but just knowing how good he is mechanically and being able to get the first kill and get out, I do fear for how safe is kind of going to maybe go too far ahead as Neon sprinting way too far ahead. Vitality's going to have to be ready for some of these set plays around that breach stun as well. That can really put Lev in advantage early on.
Well, Leverage is one step closer to making it to the playoffs, but Vitality have an opportunity to force map 3. Listen it back over to your casters, Doug and Baby Bay.
And what a sweet thing it would be if they could pull it off. Vitality staring down the barrel of elimination, but Sunset, something they're comfortable on, a map that they're very familiar with. And I mean, yes, Leviatán are no slouches on it either, but you would kind of want to favor Lev here, Dre.
It's tough. I mean, Messino's very, very good on the breach here, but since Safe went to Neon on this map specifically, Vitality have been 6-2 on it. It's unbelievable the turnaround they had putting Safe on Duelist. The problem I have is he's either dropping 30 or he's dropping 10. So which Safe are we going to get? If he performs like he did on the last map, he might take this one home.
See the knife and the dart used in tandem towards A at the beginning of the round. Aspas with a slow step back.
Yeah, and a walk-up off of all that utility. I think that Leviatán thinks it was a feint. But either way, they're going to play retake on the site. They're going to clear out all of mid. It's just going to be a retake versus post-plant scenario.
Yeah, they're kind of glad to do it too, given all of the Cypher utility that's still up. They still have a cam perched over the site. You still have a trip.
They might flood through this smoke, Doug. There's a dart lineup from Calm right now. Cam sees a lot of players on site.
Zeno has a fault line too.
Oh, the stun
first. Safe falls. Both shocks out as Trex continues to cause problems. This time getting the best of Tex. A tap on his spike, but no kills found yet. Trex is still playing really far back on the site. And you've got Calm who's waiting for him. Meanwhile, Sender pushing forward into the smoke. Aspas with 3. Trex, he knows Calm is there. Finally swinging out now. He's gotten it to half. Aspas is very weak. But that's a 4K for the Duelist and the pistol for Lev.
And what a shot at the end there. Aspas, he slid right past Safe, running through that Omen smoke. Safe. I mean, I don't blame him for going for that stun. That was the perfect timing, but Neon is too quick.
Yeah.
And the self-stun worked against him. What a retake. What a flood from Leviatán. A much faster paced approach.
This was so close. Let's go.
Jeez. Nice. What a start from the lad. And now he's 4-0 already, building up 2 orbs off of that ultimate. And he gets a Vandal full armor off of that. He's going to be so confident in this anti-eco round. A strong start. Another defensive pistol win for Leviatán.
I think the question in situations like this is, do you put yourself in a position to potentially lose it? Really nice positioning out from Tex, just barely dodging the flash, swinging into the second. Aspas joins in on the fun. Those two alone have claimed every single name of Vitality this round. Trex is the last one standing with a nice bit of HP, continues to get tagged through. A flawless round for Lev.
Protocols on protocols. The breach stun that Mizzino had all the way from A-Link. It sets up Tex to not get overwhelmed by the classics. And it was a team flash as well onto Safe that Kix had. The timing just not quite there. That's something that Vitality are going to have to clean up on this next gun round. It's going to be hard for Safe to get entries when the timing is just not on par.
Icebox has the finger guns already.
Yeah, he doesn't even need it though, and it's going to be an aggressive B main take right here.
6-0 so far. There's the aggression that you were talking about, the dash. Dude, forget about holding B main with a rollout like that.
And the reason Leviatán do this is because they want to put pressure on B main and kind of funnel you towards the A site where they have a retake setup. That's why you already see Icebox leaning all the way towards top mid. They try to manipulate you into what they want. Make you invest more utility to clear all that space. So right now, this is the correct play from Vitality, a good answer back. You want to reclaim that space, but look, it's the it's another reclear.
Yeah.
So now you have to use another layer. Leviatán, they're just burning utility.
Right here.
They want to make it so when the execute actually happens, you don't have much left.
Yeah, I mean, and that's even if you get B main back.
That being said, it was only one drone invested from Vitality. They still have tons of flashes.
Go, go, go.
Rechargeables.
A drone and a knife on the other side, and that will tag Tex.
Oh yeah.
So they know the Cypher utility is here, although down for the time being.
Tex needs to be very, very careful playing in backside right now.
They're going to go back. Remember, Calm slipped into this position while that Omen smoke was up. How patient can he be?
He's going to get cleared.
Is he?
Yeah, for sure. Safe is dialed in on this angle. Oh my gosh,
Is
the
he?
timing? No way!
The wall goes up. Calm has gotten behind them. Off of the fault line, only finding one.
But it was enough, the delay. There's 4 members here for Leviatán, 10 seconds left.
And the spike is still not out from main yet. The paranoia comes through, make that 7 seconds, have the spike down on the ground. There's no way to recover it. Sender would have to frag his way through, and he can't. The bonus converted for Lev.
That B main push, Vitality, they had to finesse. They had to take A space or feint it at least, and then also re-clear all of B. Calm, he played that insanely well. Mizzino, another fault line to set him up as well. It delayed everything. 4 members were already here. You're gonna see this a lot from Leviatán. They like to manipulate you on their own defensive side. And oftentimes they're a step ahead.
All smiles
Yeah.
for Lev as we go into the next, a pistol buy for Vitality.
And for good reason. It's been pretty clean so far. Not much of a fight that they had to deal with. Will be another anti-eco. Sheriffs across the board for Vitality, though.
The mid-trip cleared. Aspas, the only one really close by as Mizzino starts to take a step over.
Yeah, he has to shift over. Everyone's shifting over right now.
Yeah, Calm's popping up too, you're right. Aspas in a tough spot here. He currently doesn't have any help, but he does have a stinger. The paranoia out, he manages to dash away. Walls go up. Ult popped, instantly
Dagger.
denied.
Yeah.
They're gonna try to end B here, and that's gonna be tough. You still have all this Cypher utility that's up.
It's a flood again.
Aspas again, with the finger guns out, looking to find anything that he can. Smoke still coming through. The Thrifties were very successful for Vitality in the past. Can they convert again? 4 still up, but Kick's so weak. Sender 2. They've managed to get the spike down. If that's all they get, that's a money win, but they are still hungry for more. Mizzino waiting on the other side. Trex is now down. There's the swing from Mizzino. It's all on to Sender by himself in a 1v2. He can't connect. Another round the way of Lev. That was closer than it should have been.
Yeah, Vitality did a very good job of weathering that storm, weathering that flood. Just freezing the round again. It seems like when Vitality freeze the round and taking certain type of space, they have an advantage. They're just so good waiting for the antsy players of Leviatán wanting to peek out, but the gun disadvantage, it's too much. In a rifle round, maybe they win this round, maybe they convert.
Yeah, maybe.
And it's a quick timeout. 4-0 for Leviatán. Nice cleanup.
Calm sitting at 4-2. Aspas at 7-2. as there was a timeout that you just mentioned from Vitality. Down 4 rounds, still plenty of time on Sunset here. But you're right, an early timeout nonetheless.
A lot of these rounds, there's not really much to work off of. Vitality haven't really conditioned much of anything, at least not towards the A side of the map. They've kind of been playing into Leviatán's hands. So right now, maybe you're going to see a similar approach to Icebox, in which they're going to take some space at A, freeze the round, wait for any type of mistake, maybe wait for a reclear that Leviatán want to throw at them. Because Leviatán are very, very proactive on this map on the defensive side. But sometimes, Doug, their spacing just isn't quite there in terms of peeking together. That has been a major flaw in Leviatán's defensive side, oftentimes when they lose this map.
Right here.
I'm curious here. I mean, maybe we'll see if Vitality tried that slower approach that we saw in Icebox. I feel like the map plays a little bit differently, and I don't know that you can find the same level of success, but we'll see what the approach is here. 2 ults to speak of for Vitality. Some jump spots already. Look at the dart. Look at the paranoia. That's such a gorgeous setup.
Jeez. And he's out just like that.
That's beautiful.
He's hanging around for way too long. Oh my goodness, he gets punished for it.
The kill given right back. All of that utility invested to have an advantage. Squandered.
But there was no A presence at all from this round out of the side of Vitality. So there's 3 members here. And Tex is already cheating his way over as well.
Runner just got his ult.
I know
And there is a body right on cue.
They're going to speed up for sure.
They're attempting to throw a little bit of misdirection, but they realize that the B side has been lost. You've got Calm, who's the only one really kind of close by as Mazzino tries getting out of backside, but he can't. The nade through, King disrespecting it. Does he have the timing? No. Safe with 3. Calm catching 1 on the way out as Kix tried finding safe passage, but was thwarted. Now we enter the post-plant position on B. The spam's coming through. Calm has to play this so carefully. It's only 1 found. Calm's gonna have to get nades to win the round! And he delivers for Lev! Out of his seat with waves across the stage.
He's popping off. On the main stage, baby. Calm, he had some big moments in the last map, but that retake, the flood, it was chaos, it was pandemonium. Hunter's Fury from the start, a nice set play. And just running through the smokes. Vitality not peeking together. Calm takes advantage of that in full effect. And he's sitting pretty at the top right now. He felt that one in his soul.
Striving to win back-to-back championships. Still a long road ahead of him, but the opportunity for greatness, and with plays like that, he might just have a shot at it.
Is that his first ace of the tournament?
I believe so. 5-0 lead for Lev. Still the opportunity to purchase from the attack side. Light armor on all 5 members. And 4 ults.
This is a way more passive approach from Leviatán. Changing the pace on their defensive side, partly due to their operator being in the hands of Icebox.
Yeah, it slows everything down, you're right. Smoked off of mid.
Yeah. Oh, that's hurt. If he commits this, oh. Good cancel right there.
There was enough of a ping on the minimap, though.
Trips are still up.
To know where it was. The ult has been popped, you're right. The trip's still up. Nice positioning out from Tex. But as he gets closer and closer, it will continue to be a problem.
30 seconds
Icebox with the op, you hear safe. Trying to make something out of his ult. Spam's coming through, not connecting, but the spike will go down. And again, it's a numbers disadvantage situation for the defense.
Operator as well. How do you retake with this? It's so hard to clear out these close angles.
I mean, we've seen this before, but Calm's not alive this time.
The thing is, where the spike is planted right now, sometimes you can't really get the spam, but they're not going to go for it. They're just going to take these fights.
King has so much utility here. He's got smokes. He's got, I mean, he had everything, but decides to try to take the fight. Icebox can't get away. Safe was on the hunting him down. You also had Kix, who was on the reflank across the middle of the map. There was nowhere to go. A big round for Vitality.
Yeah, Vitality not falling for it this time. Ready for that contact approach in the retake, close up main.
I know it.
But yeah, you're 100% correct. There was so much utility that King had. He had a smoke, he had paranoia. The stun was still there.
We're back, we're back.
And they're back.
I mean, it's so, I mean, just getting that, especially when you're down 5-0 or, you know, however many rounds in a row that you've lost to open a map, and especially given how you lost Icebox, that first round is massive. Getting the monkey off your back. Again, all
moments like that.
Yeah, again, all that B main space denied from Lev at the beginning of the round. They've left Calm and instantly rotating back towards A. The trip to cover the middle of the map. Vitality are here, and they're here in numbers. They're here in strength, but they've already lost Sender. Knife only tagging one. Now Tech's creeping forward, still has a trip. Waiting on one side as the paranoia goes out. Boot 2 kills the way of Lev. Runner's gonna have to do it on his own. Left to settle the butcher's bill. 4 up for Lev. How in the world does he do this?
They're so on top of each other right now. Icebox takes the head-to-head. Runner gets taken out. And on the side of Vitality, you don't expect what just happened to you. You don't expect Mizzino to just stay in that smoke, and there's a fighting squad right there as soon as it drops.
Spike down A.
When Leviatán are up numbers, they usually tend to play a retake approach, a retake style. But this time, they changed their game plan. It wasn't a flood with utility, it was just a firing squad at CT. And they caught Vitality with their pants down.
Cage trigger.
More B main aggression.
But this time the knife invested here. How oftentimes we see it in conjunction with the dart towards A. To try to catch the Cypher, to try to get any early info. This timing here from Runner, though, is nice. He's crept up across the middle of the map, has a cam over his shoulder.
He got punished for it in one of the previous rounds by Icebox's operator, but that was when a B hit came through. So this time around,
Tex is by himself. You've got Mizzino, who's starting to rotate over, but he does not have a fault line. The positioning here from Tex has to be everything. The spike hits the ground, the pistols not really standing strong. There was Guardian in the hands of Safe, now a rifle for Trex. Runner not able to find any space, not able to find any success. Leviatán gets to 7, they march on.
Leviatán looks so ready for everything Vitality is throwing at them. They have 4 players on the site at all times, it seems, on both sides of the map. The B main denial, all the info gathered, it allows them to cheat over. And if you don't re-clear that space, it's just too hard to break through.
Spike down A.
Nice! Let's go! Vamos! Vamos, vamos, vamos! Let's go!
Full momentum.
We're finally playing
with balls,
aggressive.
with balls.
Finally playing aggressive.
Well, there's clearly been an adjustment in how they kind of approach these last couple of rounds. And honestly, you look at the score and you go, yeah, I mean, that checks out. That makes sense. That was part of the conversation we were having around Icebox, wasn't it? Where is the go that we're used to seeing from Leviatán? It was absent. It was non-existent. But now we're seeing a little bit more of it, oddly enough, on the defensive side of Sunset. But it's been very fruitful.
They've dictated the pace this entire defensive half, taking the fight to Vitality almost every single round, and then changing the pace up.
Well, and I think they...
Icebox gets the off.
Yeah, I think you're right. They've done that a couple of different ways, but I really feel like most of the success has been from their denial of B main.
Yeah.
Right? They're just refusing to give that area of the map up, and then you have the combos across the middle of the map, like Calm with his ult, and the paranoia and the dart and all that stuff. You've got Tex, who's been able to post up across A. I think the approach has been very similar, albeit successful for Lev. My question is, what does Gorilla call here on the other side of this timeout? How do they change up some of what Leviatán have been able to do? Because they've been so successful here.
I think you either have to deny the B main, or you have to re-clear it. And then do mid-rounding, you know, finesse around the map a little bit. Maybe do a split from top mid.
Well, it doesn't seem like they're interested in putting bodies on B main. That was another setup. That was another setup. They had the flash from Breach. They had the dart over the top, and Calm had his ult. Does tag onto one. Sender managing to stay alive. Calm splits the uprights.
But again, there's going to be 4 players ready for this. King has that A-line because of that early dart. Here's that split from top mid I was mentioning.
But the safe realize there was somebody behind him. No! Now they've got the Rolling Thunder, and that's going to throw both members up. The Paranoia out, sure, but it's just buying time. It's Trex who's left alone, and he didn't have the health, he didn't have the personnel. That's now 8 for Lev.
Everywhere Vitality are going, they're being met by 3, 4 members, and it's quickly. They're not ready for the pace. Leviatán are truly taking the fight to them. On every angle, even this, Safe, he did a good job of trying to get all the way in. But Mazzino, he's too confident right now. All of Leviatán are too confident right now. They're 8-1 right now.
And think about the difference on what we're seeing of Leviatán now versus what we saw at the beginning of map 1. They were stoic, timid. They were calm, they were very even. Now we're seeing Calm pop off. You got Mazzino's laughing on the stage. It's just a night and day difference.
The confidence is brewing like crazy right now from this Leviatán roster.
3 across the middle of the map. Runner, the one being called upon to try to deal with it as best as he can.
And there was a drone in B main, but there's nothing to follow up. There's still 2 trips on site, a camera. Tex is doing this on his own.
He's just playing things perfectly on the edge. And then he's got a smoke over the top from King to help things out.
The protocols are insane right now.
Vitality still have guns here, and they still have a couple of ults. There's still danger. There's still threat.
No way.
To this round. King's got to play his cards perfectly. The smoke is still up. The trap is still there. They've got to understand. I mean, it's their own smoke. They've got to realize there's a threat. There's the fault line. There's the kills from Tex. 3 for him. Again, Trex left by himself. He's going to find his one, maybe even a second, but how much more can you deliver on? 9 for Lev.
Doug, what a fault line from Mazzino. All the way from CT, it takes out everybody. There was a ping on the minimap after that smoke came up, a caution sign. And Mazzino, this fault line was everything. It was insane. It was perfect.
Spike down.
I love you, Mazzino. I love you, bro. You're so useful.
13 assists for Mazzino. We talked about his breach going into this map.
You did.
He's been such a star on it.
This time, Pacey from Vitality. Tex here.
He's so confident right now, Doug. This is insane.
This has been the first attempt that we've seen up from Vitality to try to deny and fight some of this B main control. But again, Runner's already dead, and now they've got the smokes, and that alone is keeping him back. They respect it. They're going to try to flip towards mid, but look at Calm.
Oh my gosh.
Calm is everywhere. Sender falls. Another 3 on the round for the Sova.
Attacker spawn.
It's over.
It's disaster once more. 10-1 the way of Lev.
A decimation.
Last round in the half.
Timing's taken everywhere. Leviatán have downloaded the game plan of Vitality on this map, understanding that Runner is a solo lurk in mid a lot, and he's gotten punished almost every single time he's done that.
One enemy remaining.
Calm is able to push all the way through A after that kill. They know that Vitality like to do 4-1s a lot. 5 ultimates on board for Vitality. Surely they can take this one away.
First of those 5 used. Safe, and now Kix is going to pop his.
He wants to go through so bad.
Load this flank on the other side. And the thing is, too, you clear a trip, but you don't realize that there are 3 waiting here. Maybe the cam gives it away, but that's all it is so far. So they've spotted Tex. Now they realize there's at least one more. Runner doing an excellent job of holding the line. And with Mazzino's fault line, they've got to understand there's at least a 3rd. Really nice flash. Runner with nowhere to go. 30 HP on the swing. Trex cleans him up. King Calm in a 2v4. As the dart goes out over the top, it's been cleared, but so is King. Kong has had his heroics, but this time they're stifled before they even start. Vitality gets to do a desperately needed round. Minor silver lining, I guess. What a dominant half from Lev. That's what you would expect to see out of #1 seed from Americas.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Oh, come on. Trade in any phone in any condition guaranteed and get $800 off the new Galaxy Z Fold 6. Only on Verizon.
Yes. 8 rounds between these two squads. Vitality, again, pushed to the very limit. The potential of their year ending in, what, 3 rounds?
Yeah.
If Lev are able to close this out, this pistol is enormous.
They have to win it. It's a must-win round right now. And what's their approach going to be? Are they going to try to take the fight to Leviatán like Leviatán did to them? Or is it going to be a little bit more standard, defaulty?
I mean, you don't really have the same tools that you would if you were running a breach, right? I think that's the benefit of having Mazzino on that is you saw how many fault line setups there were, how many flash setups there were. You are allowed to be a bit more pugnacious in your protocols when you have that level of utility. You don't really have that for Vitality. Yes, kicks, the flashes with the KO, sure, but it's just not the same bite.
The room for error is so tough when you're playing this KO Sova composition. Because like you said, it's not as explosive. There's limited utility. You really have to work with what you got. And it's got to be near perfect. And that dagger was near perfect, hitting 4 members.
It does not seem like Leviatán are dissuaded, though. They've
don't
gotten
even
the
care.
paranoia out. They got the knife out. Yeah, they still wanted to take the fight.
They don't care.
Aspas and Tex walk away a little bit beaten, a little bit battered. But belligerent nonetheless.
Just contacting in. Is Mazzino going to set up a fault line here?
This is danger.
He
He's
did.
not interested in it. Yeah, you're right. He did hit that, but he wants to take the fight. He's got to be careful. He's got the spike in hand. Tex is going to be able to trade it back, though. Aspas on the swing. Not able to connect, but Safe comes alive.
Enemy remaining.
It's going to be calm in a 1v3. Safe realizing he's there. It's the first. Sender drops him, dismisses him. Vitality get the pistol, an ever important one.
Yeah, they're still in it. They have a chance. They're going to have to invest heavy into this round. Buy the best weaponry they can. Here's the replay. That stun just not quite hitting the mark for Icebox. And some nice shots from Safe. Safe's been having a good game. He's still sitting at the top. But the supporting cast, it's just been difficult for them. If they can string some rounds together, get some momentum back in their favor, we've seen how strong they are on this composition.
Think about situations like this, not just in this half, not just in the series, but when you look at it from the lens of the entire year, is that you have to have short-term memory, man. You can't think about how Icebox got away. You can't think about the fact that, you know, maybe the supporting crew hasn't been as effective as they've been in the past. You've just got to take it a round at a time. I love that Cam is so high up, perches over the smoke.
Interesting use of drone, though.
From really far back, yeah.
Very early on. I feel like that wasn't really required. Sender, whoa. Whoa there, buddy. Slow your horses.
It was a good flash over the top, but not really enough to punish.
Now it's a flash. Being held by Sender on a little pixel angle kicks.
What? Good night. That's a ridiculous shot.
I can't use.
But also a very weird setup. I feel like Kick should be the one jiggling in that moment, but instead he had a dagger pulled out.
30 seconds
Sender
left.
should just use the Omen Paranoia off of that for himself.
Sure.
So there's a chance for Leviatán to hit this B split.
Trampling towards B like Clydesdale's, making full. Again, as Tex gets another. That Sheriff is, I mean, it's just ridiculous. In his hands, 13 seconds left, though. Time is short. They've got to find the space, and they have to do it soon. Runner doing his best to keep him back on his own. Kick's now starting to join the fray. That should decide the round. Surely you just don't take the fight, right? Surely you just run away.
You get out with that Phantom. Whew.
Vitality gets a 4. Clean shots out from Tex, but
the damage.
Yep.
The damage was done. Whoa. Yeah, Sender's just way too exposed in that moment. That shot was something else, though.
I mean, both of them. And Tex had a couple of really nice shots on Icebox, although you mentioned it. He was pretty quiet. But the Sheriff is just, I mean, that's just old reliable for him. 13 and 11 now for the Sentinel. But Vitality doing their best. They have to convert this bonus. And that's why you see just such a heavy lean into it. You've got full rifles. You have line armor on everyone.
And you have a lot of space gathered down mid as well. They're ahead of this one. I wonder if Leviatán are going to contact in just like the pistol round, or if it's going to be an explosion onto the actual site. Members of Vitality are slowly creeping forward.
He may be, but what's the dynamite? I guess Mazzino has a fault line. And Aspas obviously has the go.
What a flash. 4 members.
And the Paranoia. They've got nowhere to go. They're forced to take the fight back. Meanwhile, Safe has been creeping around the entire time. Calm was wise to it, staring down that way. The Paranoia now out. Trex has to face out in front of it. Pushes the smoke, understanding that's where the hit's coming from. Mazzino with 3. And Safe, who I thought was in a position to crunch this entire time, has to take an alternative route. Is now left in a 1v3. 28 HP for one member, but the rest of them healthy.
He does have stun.
Safe.
If he goes for it, he might be able to get both those kills.
Quietly creeping forward. He's managed to get it down to 1. There's the stun that you were looking for, but does he understand they're both there? It's going to have to be a miracle from Safe to pull this off. But Mazzino gets his 4th. Leviatán get their 11th.
Mazzino is the MVP of this map on Sunset. He's been out of this world. This attacking half, his impact on his kills. The defensive half, his utility. This was obnoxious. And the 1v1, yeah.
28 HP.
I was so surprised Safe didn't just slide onto him with that classic.
I mean, he understood how weak he was. But again, short-term memory has to be the approach for Vitality here. No time to dwell on the past.
I mean, Leviatán have done their homework. They understand Vitality like to do a re-clear off of a timing. And now it's just Safe. He's trying to be the hero.
Does he force it? No, takes a step back.
A wise choice.
You're right, though, man. The desire for heroics in a situation like this can be the biggest pitfall. Mazzino with the Rolling Thunder in hand. Depending on the angle he drops it at, will have value.
There it goes, but it's going to be a dagger.
It's not going to connect. I mean, the knife out on the other side will connect, but the Rolling Thunder doesn't hit anybody. And remember, these are just guns, or excuse me, pistols, mainly on the other side. Still a Guardian in the hands of Trex, finding a little bit with it. Runner, 22 HP, trying to settle through the stun. On to Sender and Trex now, trying to keep Leviatán away from series point. A tiny little pixel given away as Tex punishes. What can Sender do? Nothing. Leviatán have absolutely obliterated Vitality on Sunset, and they're now knocking on the door of a playoffs berth.
And doing it as a cohesive unit. You look at the scoreboard right now. Everyone within 4. A full team effort.
Right there.
And that's why it's been so dominant. Icebox is just a blast from the past.
Note here, 3 ults on the side of Vitality. And you've got Trex who's 1 away from the Sova ult too.
That dagger connects onto 2 people A main, but they're unaware if they're pushed all the way up or sitting in the back of mid. They don't have that info. KO dagger can be a double-edged sword sometimes.
A desperately needed round win to try to forge a path to OT, which is just such a crazy thought. Borderline unattainable.
Yeah.
And they very well might end here. These 2 going down, if that's how it plays out, could be devastating. They're a little bit ahead of it, but they weren't ahead of it enough! Mazzino and Aspas dispose of kicks and safe. Now the smoke's through and Sender fully surrounded, trying to find safe passage out, but he can't. All on Runner and Trex now to keep the year alive. And again, Vitality crumble. From beginning to end, bookended dominance on Sunset. Yeah, Icebox may have been a different story, but a statement made from the #1 seed of Americas. Runner can only stand for so long. 13-4 and a 2-0 sweep of LEV. Unbelievable performance. They're playoffs bound.
One of the most dominant maps Leviatán have had all tournament. And oh, what a time.
What a sigh of relief too, man. For as much as they were tested on Icebox.
Yeah.
A night and day difference on Sunset.
And it's something you said. Losing a map like that when it felt like you were in the driver's seat the entire way through. Your game plan, it worked. It was in full effect. It came down to what? You were up match point for 3 rounds. And to have it just snatched away from you, it can break your mental. But what a great showing from Vitality. It's not what they wanted, but they went on such a run in EMEA, made it all the way here.
That's the #2 seed too. But Leviatán stands shoulders above for now. I mean, I would love to pick Ito's brain because, I mean, you heard it in that timeout. Finally, they're playing with aggression. Yeah. That seems to have been the biggest difference. That seems to have been, I mean, it felt like there was a new team that took the stage when that was the switch. And the results speak for themselves. 13-4 on a map that was Vitality's strong point. And yes, we talked about it. It was Lev's too, but that was dominant.
Yeah, Vitality are a team that have taken out Heretics, who have been one of the best Sunset teams in the world. But this performance from Leviatán, it was too much. It was too fast of a pace. So explosive on both sides.
I mean, they went back to what worked for them. It was what you were calling for on Icebox, and yes, it eventually came out, but we saw it on Sunset. They were decisive, they used their utility. I mean, how many really cool ult combos did we see out from Calm with the Paranoia, with the Dart, with Mazzino's flashes too?
And even if they didn't connect, they understood how the enemy team of Vitality would rotate. And they were 2 steps ahead, it feels like.
Let's go.
2 steps, sometimes even 3. With the way they were able to deny a lot of that space from Vitality early on. This clutch out from Calm was absolutely ridiculous. When you got Calm out of his seat like that, that's a really good sign, Dre.
He second-guessed himself on popping off right there, too. A little bit of a stumble in his chair, but ultimately he pointed the finger.
I think there's a lot to be excited about for LEV, thinking about playoffs, thinking about what their aspirations and goals were. This was a roster that was built to win this tournament. We'll see if they can pull it off. We've got Calm standing by for the Verizon post-match interview.
Hello everyone, and welcome down to the stage as Leviatán secure their spot in the playoffs, taking down Vitality. I'm standing here with Leviatán Calm, of course. Congratulations, Calm! 레비아탄의 콩 선수 만나보겠습니다. 승리 축하드립니다. 사실 1번 시드 팀들이 약간의 약세를 보였던 그룹 스테이지인데 무사히 플레이오프에 진출하게 됐습니다. 그룹 스테이지 경기 결과에 대해서 어떻게 느끼고 있는지부터 물어보도록 하겠습니다. Now, congratulations, Com. You guys are in the playoffs. Number one teams from most regions had their struggles in the group stage. So, what's your evaluation of how group stage played out for you guys?
I think it just shows that everyone is good in this tournament. Anyone can win this. I think especially now, like anyone, it's just a free-for-all on who can win. But yeah, I'm excited we're the one seed that made it through.
정말 어느 팀이 우승을 해도 이상하지 않을 만큼 좀 좋은 저력을 가진 이 팀들이 여기에 모여있다는 걸 다시 한번 보여주는 그룹 스테이지인 것 같았고, 그리고 1번 시드로서 이렇게 플레이오프에 진출할 수 있어서 너무너무 행복하다고 얘기를 해주셨는데요. 또 콤 선수 우승 경력자잖아요. 콤 선수가 보시기에 지금의 레비아탄 이대로의 경기력이라면 충분히 좀 우승을 할 수 있을 것 같은지, 아니면 조금 더 보완해야 될 점이 있다고 생각하는지도 물어보도록 하겠습니다. You know what it takes to lift the trophy, right? So in your opinion, do you feel like Leviatán, you guys are in the full championship form, or there's still some work that needs to be done?
I think first map, I would say no, but in that second map, that showed our true form and who we are as a team. So I think we're here to play. Let's go.
아박은 솔직히 잘 모르겠지만 이제 선셋 같은 경우에는 레비아탄이 얼마나 잘할 수 있는지를 보여줬기 때문에 당연히 우승 충분히 가능할 것 같다는 기분이 든다고 얘기를 하는데요. 그러면 이제 대진 추첨식이 이따가 두 번째 경기 이후에 펼쳐질 예정인데, 같은 조였던 트레이스 e스포츠를 제외하고 G2, DRX 그리고 팀 헤리틱스를 만나게 될 예정이거든요. 이 중에서 만나고 싶은 팀이 있는지 또는 피하고 싶은 팀이 있는지도 물어보도록 하겠습니다. So we have the draw show for playoffs coming up after the second match of the day, except for Tracy Sports because you guys were in the same group. Yep. Is there a team you would like to face or, prefer not to face for the first match of the playoffs?
Give us anyone. We'll beat them.
누가 오든 다 이겨주겠다고 얘기를 했고요. 마지막으로 오늘 아침에 도대체 피앙세와 어떤 춤을 췄는지 한번 승리의 댄스도 부탁해보도록 하겠습니다. Lastly, Maddie told me that you guys had a dance party this morning. Now's a good time to celebrate. Show us what you got.
Oh, I'm not doing that right now. I can tell you that for sure.
너무 무리수였나 봅니다. 안 한다고 얘기를 했습니다. 이렇게 레비아탄의 콤 선수만 남았습니다. Congratulations, Com, once again. Good luck in the playoffs.
사랑해.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Watch me pop the top, baddie to the club. Shorty in my grip, it's a light, yeah. And let me hit it, I just wanna hit the fun. And up that baby, I just wanna take it right. Till your turn, I don't need it too much. When they all the same, got me with they should know. Yeah, whoa. Yeah, 이거겠나 밖에 Fuck up your poses 끝한 뻔한 날 범을 대체 Trying Tokyo rider, riding Tokyo highway I'm on my 떠만 선다 bike and smoking pack This is normal life 제대로 되고 있어 모든 게넌 수치말 못하지 완야면서 네 bluffing Oh you get stuck 내 보석은 너무 무거워 But 안 걸어먹게 내가 더 반짝이다 보니 I knowledge Hit it up as a main 맛이 hit it up as a 이건 누구를 넣어서 실내 가기 전까지 근 없어 What? Hit it up as a main 눈치 필요 없어 main 나의 땅에서 갈 수 있는 건 나가고는 떠날래 세상을 뜯는다고 될 때까지 거지가 잠깐만 나의 plug Yo 밑가는 안될 거리가 I told you my highway 속도에서 난 들려 네 목소리가 빠르게 바뀌어 네 캐시미어 너는 잘난 팀 난 Ray Turn this up Yeah turn this up Yeah turn this up Yeah turn this up Yeah watch me pop the top baddie to the club Yeah shorty in my crib it's a light yeah And let me hit it I just wanna hit some fun I know that baby I just wanna take it right Until you turn I don't need it too much When everything all the same got me with this shit now Whoa go crazy 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 Yo break 다시 switch over team can't stop raving break 다시 switch over team can't stop raving 친구들은 구경해 내 어찌 되는지 Rolls Royce truck에서 가운데 주진이